come to Dominican Republic for many different reasons, and one of them is to look for a relationship, to find love and romance. Dating a Dominican woman or a man as a foreigner can be a very different experience from what you're used to back in your own country. So in this video, I'll interview a number of expats, both single men and women, as well as married folks, so you can get a perspective of the dating arena over here. All the information presented in this video is based on personal and individual experiences of the interviewees and shouldn't be taken as a generalization for the whole Dominican culture. Okay, let's begin.
Yes, I've been coming to the Dominican Republic for about 15 years, more or less. So, I've dabbled in a few relationships here and there. The one thing about the Dominican Republic that stands out is whether you want to get into a relationship is you're going to know right away how genuine it is, because Dominicans have the ability to be very upfront with what they want. And if the girl that you meet here is always asking for money right away, you already know that's going to be a red flag. I've been to other countries, like in the Philippines, where they'll play the long game with you. They'll talk to you for hours on the phone. They'll make you think you're in a monogamous relationship, but in reality, they really got a boyfriend on the side. That technically tends to be true here as well, because a lot of the Dominicans also do have a boyfriend too. So, when you get into a relationship, it's going to take a while to finally, find the legitimacy of the situation, basically.
Yeah, but the whole thing pushing for money or stuff, that's a warning sign.
Yeah, so I would say I've been to about 50 countries. Out of all the countries I've been to, I would say this is probably one of the most upfront countries with what they want to do. They don't play the long game at all. They're not going to talk to you on the phone for hours. They're not going to, hang out with you and go get drinks for you for hours, unless you're paying money up front. Because, to a lot of Dominicans, time is money, basically. So, if you find a girl who wants to hang out with you and actually enjoys your company and want to talk to you on the phone, there's a good chance that she's actually genuinely interested. But the problem is they're the minority, you got to put some time into it,
Yeah. If somebody wanted to deliberately come down here and try to find a good person, where's the best place you think to create that situation?
Well, to be honest with you, I would go to the Campo. I mean, any Dominican will tell you that the Campo is where they still have the traditional values. The women are still very feminine in their ways. Their traditional, gender roles. They'll cook for you, clean for you. The problem is, though, there's not really much to do in the Campo. There's no major hotels or resorts. And sadly, when you go to these tourist destinations here, Punta Cana, Puerto Plata, you got a lot of so-called working girls that come around, and a lot of guys make the mistake of trying to get into a marriage or a monogamous relationship with a working girl, and these poor gringos don't even know it. They don't even know the girl's a working girl. They just think it's some, honest, hardworking, student or hardworking mother, and before you know it, every time you go back to the country, your girlfriend is being, tossed around all over the place,
Yeah, if I could have $100 for every time I've heard a guy say this one's different.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'll tell you, man, I think Western Union is the worst thing that ever happened in this country, man. It's also true for Asia, but yeah, there's a lot of gullible guys who come here and they try to apply the American mindset here, and it doesn't work. You'll get victimized real quick if you bring the whole American mindset over here. So, it's a very it's a hustle culture, it's a very hustle culture. It's been this way for centuries, I'm sure. And, but like anything else, when you stay here long enough, you see, where the red flags are, you learn how to dodge a few things, and you can generally, weed out the hustlers to the genuine female.
But I tell you who will support the guys, other guys like yourself. So if you come traveling down here, guys and ladies, meet other foreigners and listen to what they have to say. They may notice things you don't, especially when you get swept away emotionally. So they will notice things, so pay good attention to the warning signs they give you.
This is in America, where the first girl you talk to, you just want to hold on for dear life and be possessive. You're always going to have different females and people in general just talking to you. You don't need the scarcity mindset here. I mean, if one relationship doesn't work out, there's going to be another one coming down the road, in 5 or 10 minutes. So, You don't got to rush yourself. I think a lot of guys have that American mindset when they come here, and they just want to hold on, launch out of the first girl that they meet.
Yeah.
And you know, that scarcity mindset will get you. It'll get you in trouble down here. You know.
Tito, thank you so much. Super duper.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great stay while you're here.
Appreciate it.
Now, your take on finding a soulmate down here in the DR, and what do you need to watch out for if you do take that step?
Well, one of the things that come to mind is excuses. Don't accept a lot of excuses, or basically any excuses. My phone is not working, I didn't have Wi-Fi. There's a lot of excuses and a lot of game going on. So if you're going to enhance their life or change their life in a permanent way, and you really real about this relationship, they have to be real and give you that respect in return. So don't accept excuses. Demand what you demand, and if they can't give that to you, then that's a big red flag, especially if they're not giving it to you consistently.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the things.
So everything ping pong and on the table, open book.
You should have access to everything that they're doing, where they are at all times, whether it's work, after work, what they're doing. They should want you to know. If they're keeping things from you, not telling you certain things, and you don't know, that's a big red flag, because you're in a position to change someone's life. You're going to enhance their life on a permanent base. You're here for a serious reason, a serious relationship. If you're just playing around and you don't want that serious relationship, then that's fine. Excuses, or I would say that's fine. But if you're talking about a committed relationship, then it has to be for real. You should have access to everything that they're doing and where they at all times. And they should respond to you. Make sure they have Wi-Fi on their phone, so they don't have that excuse. Make sure they have that. They should pick up that phone every time you call. But they reason, okay, once in a while, if it's once in a while, you be reasonable. But all that excuse is game.
Okay, so be open with you. That's what they should be about everything. Look, I'm just busy talking to my boss. Can I call you in 20 minutes kind of thing?
About everything. They can always text you. They can always call you. You know, they do it for when they want to do it. When it's something important for them, you find out their Wi-Fi is working all of a sudden. Now, a few minutes ago, an hour or so, your Wi-Fi wasn't working. So people do what they want to do. So if you're serious, your lady has to be on that level to represent you and give you that respect back. If you always going back and forth about why this, why that, and excuses, that's game. That's a big red flag, I'm telling you that.
What would your recommendation be in terms of where they should go and hang out or meet people?
That's a good point that you bring up, because, you know, like back in the States or what have you, if you go to a club or if you're going to certain type of places, you know you're not going to find a wife there, a quality wife there. So you do have to be aware of where you met this person, if she's working, if she's really serious about her life and her responsibilities. If she have kids and she's working all the time and going home, find out what her lifestyle is and what she's doing. Do she likes to hang out and go out? There's nothing wrong with that, but if she does it frequently, how does she move when she go out? Or she's about her family, she's about her kids, she ain't got time to hang out. You will know if she's serious about her life and her family or herself and what she's about, because she's always grinding, trying to work. Sometimes they work 2 jobs. So you'll find out, you'll get a sense of who she is. And you'll know, you use your inner spirit, your inner gut, intuition, to find out if she's serious, if she's a good person or not.
I've heard from a few of the, especially guys down here, that some of the ladies are very keen for them to quickly meet the family. What's your advice on that one? Do it, don't do it?
Don't do it. That's game. She's trying to get herself, work herself in a position. That happened over time. That'll happen for itself. She got to qualify for it. She got to qualify to meet your family. And same thing, you don't want to meet her family right away either. She got to qualify for you to meet her family. You don't want to commit yourself like that right away.
Yeah.
You know,
I know a lot of guys They didn't just get a girlfriend, they got a whole family, and then suddenly they're expected to pay for this
That's
and pay
going
for
to
that.
happen. That may happen. You
Yeah.
know, you're going to look out for her and you're going to look out for the family. You know, if it's worth it, it's okay. You don't mind doing it if you can afford to do it, if she's worth that.
Yeah.
But for them to come at you right from the top, no, that's a problem. They gotta earn everything. Just make them earn everything that you give them. If you're gonna give them $200 or $300, make sure she's worthy of that. If you're gonna give her more, make sure she's worthy of that. She didn't give to you. It's not about you just giving to them. They gotta give back freely to you as well.
It's not give and take, it's give and give.
That's right, give and give, you know. She may not have money, but she have time. Maybe she can cook, she can clean, she can, you know, spend quality time with you. She can give things back, and you'll see if she's giving things back. If she's earning that with you, then you don't mind giving and doing for her.
Good stuff. Really good advice. Thanks, Tyson. And for those watching, take these words in because it can save you a lot of
Be careful,
trouble.
take it step by step. Don't rush into nothing. Give it time, that's for sure.
Thanks again.
Okay.
Cheers. What's your perspective on the differences between in your case, ladies down here compared to, say, meeting ladies in Denmark? Is it a huge difference?
I will say a huge difference, yes. It's a day and night. You can be lucky and you can be unlucky. You never know where the wind is blowing. I have a little experience down here, and also a lot, but I get confused what ups and downs sometimes because it's hard to know where you are in the water, and sometimes it can be unique. You can fall in love, and they can disappear overnight, and you wake up the next morning and say, "What the fuck is happening?" And but go for it, try and see what's happening.
How they live very much for the day.
Yes, they are like fishermen from Greenland. They fish and they hunt, and then they just eat what they catch, and then as another day next week or next day.
So they live for the day.
This is a little bit the same,
Yeah.
and we have a completely different way of handling that. It's
So what's your
very
advice to somebody who wants to meet true love down here?
Be patient and hang out for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, folks, I'm here with Bill, one of my viewers I just bumped into on the beach. Thanks for jumping on camera. Now, Bill, can you tell the viewers your recommendations in terms of what they should do or think through before they come down here to fall in love? If they think, nah, I'm sick of Canadian spouses or American spouses, I want to try to have somebody from the Caribbean, what would you give them as awareness advice before they jump into that new adventure?
Yeah, one is advice for falling in love. You learn to first love yourself, be by yourself, appreciate yourself. You just came out of a committed relationship that you've been in for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You don't know yourself no more. You know about a relationship, you know about partnership. You don't know individuals. So until you learn to love yourself, commit to yourself. How can you commit to somebody else? You have to get that time. If you don't get that time, you're gonna lose again. You lost the first time, whether it was her fault, whether it was your fault. It was a loss. Bottom line.
Great advice. There's also another saying with traveling, when you travel far enough, you get to meet yourself.
You get to meet yourself and you get comfortable. You actually fall in love with yourself. You haven't been in love with yourself 30 years, 5 years, 10 years. Now you get to learn yourself, know
You get
yourself.
to do what you love doing.
Love what you're doing. I come down to this here by myself, with nobody. I love it. I enjoy it. I do what I do. I have fun with what I do. And I meet everybody from all over. Canada, US, Ireland. They come from all over. And I sit and talk with everyone. Everybody's got different information. I take it in. So you have to take it in so far as what you mean to yourself, what you love about yourself. And that's more important than anything.
Great advice. Thank you, Bill. That's
Hey.
powerful. It was short but powerful.
Mr. T, you the man, baby.
Okay, thank you very much.
Man.
All right. Take care and keep enjoying yourself.
All the day.
Anna, what would be your suggestions to anybody who wants to come down and find true love in Dominican Republic, a foreigner, especially a lady? What would you say to the other ladies out there?
Well, you do have to exercise caution. There's a lot of Dominican men that will tell you they love you or will hit on you. They're in a lot of cases looking for a sugar mama. If you're willing to support them, take care of them, then they will certainly be loyal to you as money talks. But to me, that's not true love. I've been here a year and a half. I've made a great deal of friends, both male and female, but at this point I haven't found anyone that I would consider a romantic connection.
One guy, he said to me, the best thing is when you just get to meet, if you wanted to meet a Dominican, you get to meet different Dominicans and then have them put the feelers out for somebody decent. And, you know, that may lead to a more genuine person if they say, well, this gentleman, he's a hard worker, he's got his own business, he does this, he does that, very ambitious, and he became single half a year ago or something, you know, or that could be with a woman as well, you know, that you get referred to somebody's cousin or
well, you know, that's definitely a possibility. I know myself I haven't tried that. I didn't think of it. I can tell you that one of the reasons I'm in Dominican is my older brother loved Dominica, and he ended up marrying a Dominican girl, and what you're talking about is exactly how he met her. There was a gentleman that was originally became his original cab driver. They became friends. Mm-hmm. And he knew my brother was single. He was looking for love. He was looking for a woman. And he introduced my brother to a beautiful young lady. And they did indeed get married. Now, she ended up moving to Canada. My brother unfortunately passed away in 2019.
Sorry to hear that.
But she's a wonderful lady, and she's a hard worker herself. She wasn't a chica. She wasn't just looking for men to pay. But now you've put that in my mind. I'm going to have to think about that a little more.
Oh, very good. Okay. I may have a couple of other ideas off camera, but no, that's great. Good comments. And you enjoying yourself here?
I love it here. It was the best decision I ever made, is to leave Canada and move down here.
Fantastic. Thanks, Anna. All the best.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah, folks, I'm with Leisha from Canada originally on Puerto Plata's Malecon beach here. Thanks for jumping on camera. You've been with your Dominican husband for 6 years.
Yeah.
Take me back to how it all started. You were in Canada, you just thought, let's move to Dominican Republic, or did you meet online, or how did that work?
So my family insisted that I needed a vacation. So they told me to go, I was part of a dance group.
Right.
Yeah, so they go semi-regularly to Gran Ventana, and I went with them, and my husband was working security, and he flashed me a few cute little smiles as I walked through the hotel, and I thought he was kind of cute and a little shy, and I thought, hell, when he asked me for my phone number, I thought, well, I'll give it to him, what the heck, you know, you have nothing to lose, right? Mm-hmm. And we didn't really talk when I was here, but then I went back to Canada and we started texting, and when we started texting, I really got to know who he was as a person, and I had a really good chance before I came back to really get to know who he was, and between that we found we had an awful lot in common. He's a great person with an excellent heart and great family values. And
May I be so nosy and ask, how old is he?
he's 4 years younger than me.
Oh, a real young guy.
Yeah, not really.
Okay, so charming guy, Dominican.
Yeah.
How would you explain the cultural differences between, say, guys you met back in time in Canada and a Dominican man?
He's very different. He's very attentive. He treats me like a queen. He calls me his queen, and he treats me that way, and it's fantastic. I've never experienced that with Canadian men before, so it was very nice and refreshing. And his family is very, very close, which North American families, some are, some aren't. You know, with all of our preoccupations with work and whatever else, family kind of, you know, it goes second in Canada and the US sometimes. And here I find they put family first. And when I met him and I met his family, everybody was just, come on in, here's some coffee, here's some food, sit down, we'll give you a hug, you know.
Very sharing,
we
very
love
welcoming.
you. Just everything, it was very, very open, and I felt right at home, and it was lovely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so you think they are more like gentlemen?
Yeah, I think so,
Uh-huh.
but you have to find the right ones, because there are some that are not so gentlemen, and there are some that are out there looking to profit off of other people. But I think if you take your time and you really get to know somebody before you jump into a relationship, then you know, then you have a better chance of finding who they really are. And my husband is a sweetheart. I wouldn't trade him for the world.
Any children?
He has two. I don't. I can't have children. So I have happily taken his children into my life, and we've become a blended family. And
Wonderful.
it's
Congratulations.
great. And the kids are very loving too. And
But if anything would frustrate you with, say, a Dominican man, what would that be?
probably just things that get lost in translation, because we speak two different languages. We have two different cultures. So sometimes I say something he misunderstands, he says something I misunderstand, but you know, we have their translation programs, and we sort it out.
Yeah.
We've been, as I said, together for 6 years, and we have had one argument, and it wasn't anything very serious. So you know,
Fantastic.
I feel like I've met my other half.
Great. If you were to mention the 5 best things about him, what would it be in his personality?
He's a gentleman, total gentleman. He puts me first. Like if we're walking down the street, he walks on the street side and keeps me on the inside. You know, I mean, he looks after me like that. He helps me cook. He helps me clean. We're equals. I'm not a female slave to him. I'm a partner. I'm an equal, and he treats me that way. It's beautiful.
Okay.
And we have a lot of. He likes to dance and sing, so that's also very romantic too.
Fantastic. Last question. Do you socialize primarily with other Dominicans down here since he's Dominican, or is it a mix, foreigners and Dominicans?
That's probably a mixed bag, because we've lived in Costa Mara for quite a while, but we moved into the countryside. We bought a finca in the process of opening an Airbnb out of it. So we've had to deal with a lot of construction teams and whatever else, and my neighbors too, and they're fantastic people. The more I've gotten to know the Dominicans and the culture, and especially that I speak Spanish, that also really helps me to be able to relate to them. And I found new family. It's
So
been a
happy
really,
for
really, very positive experience for me. This has changed my life for the better.
Fantastic. Excellent comments. Nice to hear such a positive story, and I wish you all the very best for the future, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Everyone, I'm here with Julia from Germany originally, and little Erin, if I can just point the camera forward. 2 months old, this little beauty. Congratulations, first of all, on having little Erin. Now, Julia, how long have you been in the country for?
I'm here now permanently around about 2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
And you were here before as well, and
Yes.
went back to Germany.
Yes. I was here the first time in 2017, met my ex-husband, also a Dominican. I got married and we decided to live in Germany. And 2021, I came back here, but my ex-husband stayed in Germany.
Oh, so you've swapped countries.
Yes.
Okay. And you met another gentleman, and now you have a beautiful child together. Again, just a little clip of Aaron there. He's a right joy to have, I'm sure. How did you actually meet your existing husband?
I met my boyfriend here while I was remodeling some parts of my house, because a friend of mine took him to my house to help me with the painting. And so we met, and it was also not planned that we get to a relationship. But if it fits also with the view, I think you should take the opportunity here, because normally the cultural difference is very big. Mm-hmm. I'm from Europe, he's from here, but if you find things you have in common, you should hold this person.
Talking about cultural differences, what would be the most frustrating thing, and what's the most super positive thing about being with a Dominican?
My side of view with my relationship, the most frustrating thing is the lack of responsibilities. The things here are, everything is tranquilo, but I, as a European woman, I have my organization. I want that every morning at 6:30 we need to stand up, and the Dominican, it's like, if it's 7, don't makes a difference. For me as a mom, it makes a difference. Mm-hmm. The most positive is exactly the same. Everything is tranquilo, so if I am late, nobody cares. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares, and even if you have children, you will find everywhere a hand who will help. Yeah. Everywhere. Nobody will look at you if your baby is crying in the supermarket, like we know how it is in Germany. Everyone is looking like you don't have control about your children. Here, nobody cares. They will help, but they will not offend you for this.
They're very tolerant.
Yes.
What was your initial expectations when you first started the relationship, and has that turned out to be what you got, or has it turned out different in reality? The first impression you had when you met him?
Not 100%. I have still someone who loves children, but who is not a person with a lot of patience. Mm-hmm. Normally, when I met him, he was so patient with my son, with my biggest son. He's 4.5 years, and now sometimes it shows up like he cannot even wait 5 minutes. Only if he wants something, then it's okay.
So what's your recommendation to ladies out there who are coming down? Maybe they've just had enough of European men, Canadian men, American men, or wherever they're from in the world, and they want to give it a go to find love and romance in DR.
Take your time to know each other, because we also know here we have a lot of people with a lack of education, and we have a lot of poor people. So be aware, don't give directly everything. Take your time to know that other person, to know the family, and enjoy.
What's so sharp about Dominican men that you wouldn't find, say, in a German man?
The temperament.
The temperament?
Yes. Yes.
So that could be good and bad too.
This is another story, but feel like the European men are a little bit boring, and the Dominican, with the Dominican, it will never be boring. Never.
Yeah.
You will have different experiences every day.
Yeah.
Can be good, can be bad, but it's not boring.
Fantastic. Great comments, and thank you so much for being on camera, Julia.
Thank you.
And all the best with little Aaron here. He looks very content. Bye-bye. Okay, take care. you met a Dominican lady down here. She's not a young lady, but she's younger than you, correct?
Oh yeah, she's quite a bit younger than I am.
Yeah, she's very mature, I know that. Dominican lady.
Well, she was over 30 when I met her, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know.
So what challenges have you kind of had with that and the cultural side of things and being in a relationship with a Dominican lady?
Well, the biggest issue initially is the language.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Dominicans have their own version of Spanish. I refer to it as machine gun Spanish, and it's very difficult sometimes to communicate as nice as you'd like to. You know, there's the music and there's some other things that you know make coming down here as a gringo more difficult. You know,
that can frustrate us.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and you know the language, the music, and the I need concept down here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the problem with most of these little ladies is that when they first meet you, they're like, oh baby, but as soon as you get to know them a little better, now their hand is out. My grandmother, my birthday, my this, my that. It's
Mm-hmm.
always they want something more. My favorite expression is more no es sufficiento.
Okay, so you struck it lucky with
Very lucky.
your lady.
I don't know how that happened, but I thank every day that I ended up with her as opposed to some of these other crazies that I see my friends with.
So she understood the normal concept of a relationship.
Well, she was in a situation where she had raised 2 children,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just leaving to go to the States, and so she had a little better concept of what life was about. It wasn't just all, you know, let's get drunk and party, which is the issue here. Most of these young girls are all pretty little things, but their whole world is about partying or trying to get money from the gringo.
Yeah. So what advice, very short, would you give to somebody who wants a serious relationship down here, who's maybe had enough in Europe, US, Canada, or places like that, and they want to make a go of it down here?
Well, the first step is don't pick the first one. You know, a pretty face does not make a pretty heart.
Uh-huh.
And there's
Good
a lot
stuff.
of issues here that you just have to take your time. And remember that, you know, your feelings for her may not be the same feelings that she has for you, because you're still the gringo and you're the guy that has the money. And so you have to get through that aspect of it, the trust and some of the things that are important in a relationship. It takes a while to adjust to that sort of thing. Not like the States where you can have an ongoing dialogue and you can realize that this girl is either your soulmate or she's an idiot.
Would you test them? Like, if there are ways to test them? Okay, so you have the language issue and all the rest of it. I mean, I've heard of guys leaving money lying around.
That's one of the ways.
Just
leaving things around and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things used to be in the old days when I dated was I'd leave a couple $100 pesos up on the counter and see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The only situation here is that the people here, they see that you have something, they feel they're entitled to it because they don't have it. You know, something that we don't get in the West. Whatever. Point of the matter is, their culture is such that they're survivors. They're basically worrying about where they're going to get their next meal, where they're going to sleep sometimes, and who's going to feed the kid. And so, you know, they live in a little more of a desperation lifestyle than we're used to. So you have to be aware of that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and in my experience with this country, the one word you need to understand more than anything else is no.
Very good. Okay, Tommy, that's excellent words and good advice for folks out there. Thanks again for being on camera.
Always happy to play with you.
And all the best with your relationship.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Good luck, everybody. It's not easy, but it's worthwhile.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Okay.
Everyone, I'm here with a friend of mine called Domingo from Spain. Gracias, Domingo, para tu entra el video. Un poco preguntas para usted. ¿Cuánto tiempo han estado juntos tú y tu esposa?
Llevamos como casi 10 años.
10 años.
Ajá.
Bueno, feliz. ¿Cómo la conociste?
Bueno, esto fue casualmente, pues ella pasaba a diario por delante de mi negocio y así la conocí.
¿Y cuál ha sido el mayor desafío cultural?
Bueno, un poquito difícil porque venimos de costumbres distintas, pero con el tiempo uno se adapta. Uno llega por ser más dominicano que los dominicanos.
Ok, ¿y cuál es su consejo para alguien que quiere una pareja dominicana?
Bueno, pues yo opino que primero conocerse un tiempo y luego saber desligar la familia de la pareja.
Ajá.
Eso es lo más importante, no entromezclarse con la familia, sino pues centrarse en la pareja que uno tiene.
So, inicialmente todo es despacio.
Sí,
Yeah.
que se debe de desligar la familia de la pareja, no mezclar, porque eso crea conflictos. Desligar una cosa de la otra. La pareja es la pareja y la familia pues es la familia. Si se puede ayudar, se ayuda, y si no, bueno, pues...
Ok, perfecto.
Eso es lo que...
Bueno. Gracias, Domingo.
Bye.
Tell you this, I've been living in Santo Domingo for 4 years, and I come down here to Sosua and I bring my friends here and often give them the advice to tell them, hey, listen, you can't come here looking for love, especially in Sosua, because a lot of times the women are not that serious. They, having hard times, they're trying to make it. But if you come to Santo Domingo, you have a better chance because a lot of women are career women. They're working in the malls and working in the banks and stuff, and they're more serious, and you can find love in that place. But I'm just here to warn you from coming here for quite a while. I think this might not be the best place.
So there's a lot to be said for seeing that they actually have a job, a career, that they are focused on something else than just coming to a tourist town to party.
Yes.
Then kind of, all right,
Yeah.
she's a serious woman.
Yeah.
Or
You have more of a chance. I'm not saying you can't find love here, but I'm saying the chances are very slim. So you have to be very careful. Guys come here to have fun, and some guys understand why they come here, but some guys here don't, and they think that because they see a beautiful woman and the woman called him over and he thinks that, hey, he got it going on. That's not the case. They're gonna holler at you whether you walk on just one leg or you attractive or not.
Now, we just were talking, John and I, about finding the right soulmate. You're not actively looking, but if you bump into her, what is the criteria for you? It's a little bit different than the other people that I've interviewed so far, but I haven't brought up the topic either about the being jabbed.
Looks are great, personality is great, values are great, but if she got that jab, that's just the biggest turnoff. I'm an organic human being. I'm looking for an organic woman. And,
a pure blood.
A pure blood. And it says a lot to me if they succumb to the peer pressure or whatever caused them to take that jab. It tells me a lot about the person and their values and how strong they are as an individual. So it's just an immediate, I'm good.
Well, I wish you all the very best. I hope it happens, that you have all the right criteria fall into place.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay. Should anybody look around Sosua Cabaretta for a spouse if they want a serious relationship?
I'm pretty sure that maybe more than 90% they lose their feelings and they lose much money if they agree with a relationship with young people here. And the young people who especially come to zones, to touristical zones, maybe here in Cabaret, maybe Sosua, maybe Boca Chica, on the Caribbean side, they are looking for money, of course. We must know that the salary, if somebody has a work, a job, is maybe between 10, 12, 15,000 pesos a month. It's not much money to do for their life. And therefore many come to these touristical zones. And many gringos, they fall in love in young ladies or old women in young boys, because it's a dream for older people to spend with young people. Many of them, they are looking for a sugar daddy to to have a better life, you know. I wouldn't do it because there's too many stories what I heard, and so many men that they said, my girl is different, she's not same like the other one. He go back to his country, and 2-3 days later I see the girl walking in the street. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that he sends money every month from his country to the girl by Western Union. Yeah. My advice is come here, enjoy the holidays, or as a resident the whole life, enjoy the sun, the good weather, the sea, and sometimes if there is an adventure with a girl, why not? This is everybody is his own boss, who must know what to do. Don't do many risks in life because you can lose all. Mm-hmm. Some, they lose their lives.
Yeah, and we've seen that, yeah. Especially Haitian young girls they got with older gringo guy up in his 70s or 80s, and the next thing there's a gang of people that come in, kill him, rob him, and they usually get caught, but it's too late for him.
That's right.
Yeah. Down here, if cash is king, if you're the king or you're the queen, make sure you hit them hard up front with the facts. If we get together and make it more serious than just going out for dinner, etc., then these are my terms. And if they can't accept the terms, then maybe they were after more than just you.
That's right.
Yeah. That's it for this video. I hope you found the information very helpful, and feel free to leave your comments below. Always appreciate that. For those of you who are seeking to relocate to DR, you're also welcome to contact me in regards to my relocation consulting services, introduction tours, and other services which I offer. And you can also subscribe to my DI information service called InfoHub, simply by clicking on the link seen in the description to this video. Many thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.